Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CDTV Grammys Award Rankings. That's legally distinct enough, right? Today, in the first ever show of its kind, me, your host, CDTVProductions, will be ranking all Grammy Award-winning rap songs from best to worst, all 22 of them. And maybe there will even be a couple unexpected treats and performances along the way. Now, right before we do jump into it, I wanted to give a shout out to the sponsor of this show for helping to make it possible, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is the best way to protect your privacy when online in a fast and easy to use way, and it's the VPN that I use in my day-to-day life. I have for about the past 5 years now. I'll tell you about the benefits more in a second, but if at any point you would like to redeem my deal with them, go to surfshark.com/CDTV and use the code CDTV at checkout to get 4 extra months free. Now, as you may know, I recently moved out to Canada, and while it's been great, sometimes the Netflix selection isn't. I miss you, UK Netflix. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Where did you go? But I don't have to miss it anymore, because at the press of a button, a little swipe out of the Netflix app and then opening it back up again, and boom, I have all the UK Netflix content right there, and I've tested this multiple times. It plays, it works, it's great. Now I can watch this beautiful, never-ending show to my heart's content. It's also useful if you're someone who uses public Wi-Fi at all. Surfshark can help by encrypting your data, allowing you to use that Wi-Fi more safely. It can't hurt to have that extra little safeguard. On top of all that, they even have their own search engine and their own antivirus that come included with their Surfshark One plan. And now is the perfect time to click that link down in the description below and grab the deal that they're offering to my viewers. 4 additional months of Surfshark added to your plan for free. So head to surfshark.com/CDTV, use the code CDTV and get access to my deal of 4 extra months of Surfshark with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Much love to Surfshark for sponsoring today's show. And with that being said, let's get started with our winner of the worst rap song to win a Grammy award. Coming in at number 22, we have Drake with Hotline Bling.
I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing.
First of all, Hotline Bling, a rap song? I feel like you've got to stretch the definition a little bit to make that work. Second of all, on the plus side, it made the bottom spot for this video an easy pick. Hotline Bling is the pop song equivalent of elevator music. That's what really kills it for me. I just find it unbearably boring. I remember the lyrics on this song getting a lot of flack back when it came out, but honestly, at this point, it's just your standard modern Drake fare of you're not a respectable woman anymore because you're fucking guys who aren't me. Now look, I get it. It taps into that feeling of being a little bit hurt or sad because someone that you haven't seen in a long time has changed when you see them again, and that can feel a little bit strange. But it's the specific framing of this song that gives it a weird possessive tone. It's got a hard enough drum beat going, but I just can't get into this one. I also heard it a lot against my will because it was hugely popular when it dropped, so that scores some points against it too. Who would I have picked to win instead from this year's pool of contenders? Probably Ultralight Beam, but I'd take any runner-up over Heartbreak Drake Wii theme music. And number 21, we have Ludacris with Moneymaker featuring Pharrell.
You know I got it. If you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like hey, hey, hey.
Ass, ass, ass. It's a song all about it. This song just screams 2006 strip club rap, which for me is a little bit more endearing now than it used to be for me, but it is still kind of cheap sounding. Those organ stab sounds and horns that play throughout the beat just kind of irk me. I guess the instrumental just sounds a bit too stabby and abrupt for me. Ludacris is fairly entertaining because he always is. Let me give you some swimming lessons on the penis. But there's just not enough here that really interests me. Catchy hook with a nice back and forth between Pharrell and Luda, decent bit of personality from Luda, but not much else that I enjoy outside of that. And at number 20, we have Drake with God's Plan.
I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me.
Look, I know what you're thinking. Of course Drake's Grammy songs are in your bottom pick CDTV, we get it. You hate Drake. But it's not entirely that. The Grammys just happened to pick his most sonically bland tracks to win. God's Plan maybe has the most restrained, upbeat sound that I've ever heard a song have. The underlying tone is celebratory, triumphant, but it also sounds like the beat is trying to hold back and not be too lively. Can't make a Drake song too fun after all. And the result is a song that's just fine. Just absolutely fine. I don't dislike it, and I definitely used to enjoy this song more than I do now because I have some pretty good memories with my friends tied to it, but it is admittedly pretty dry. Even for a simple rap hit style of song, some of the lyrics here are so empty. I hold back, sometimes I won't. I feel good, sometimes I don't. Insightful. At number 19, we have Megan Thee Stallion with Savage Remix featuring Beyonce.
I'm a boss, I'm a leader. I pull up in my two-seater and my mama was a savage. Nigga got this shit from Tina.
This isn't something that always bothers me in music, but I feel like the sheer level to which the original Savage track felt like TikTok bait just put me off of it quite a lot. And on top of that, I've never really liked the beat at all. The main instrument it revolves around, it just feels like it's unpleasantly jabbing my ears each time that it hits. But what does make me rank this one a little higher than the lower 3 spots is that Beyonce is fantastic on here. I just realized my top button's not done here. Hold up. Okay, none of you saw that. It was always like this. Please. I'm trying to get them have me come back for a presenting job again. If this was the original version of Savage, it might just be my least favorite Grammy-winning rap song. But with Beyonce on this remix, I feel like she really added a melodic element to it that the track needed to counter the somewhat blunt, repetitive beat. And I appreciate that she didn't phone it in with a quick, solitary verse. Her presence is all throughout the song, and it's definitely elevated because of it. Don't get me wrong, Megan is fine on the track, but Beyonce brings it up a notch. At our number 18 spot, we have Lil Wayne with Lollipop featuring Static Major. Now honestly, I generally kinda like this song. It's pretty iconic, and it's cool to hear Wayne work with that arpeggiated synth production. But why on God's green earth is it 5 minutes long? When I say I like it, I mean that I like it for about 3 to 3.5 minutes, and then I start thinking to myself, hold on, how far actually am I into this track? Is it almost done? It's not really an attention span thing because I love me a good 5 minute plus long track, but I'm generally not the biggest fan of it when it's for a more pop oriented radio hit. But as a whole, the song does sound very cool, and Static Major and Lil Wayne work really well together, especially when they're both singing the chorus. A little over long maybe, but I quite enjoy the atmosphere of it, and I don't think there's many other Wayne tracks that sound quite like this. Here at our number 17 spot, let's see, we have Kendrick Lamar with Humble.
Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances, finesse a nigga with some counterfeits.
Would other people rank this higher? Probably, but I've always been pretty vocal about not fully enjoying the song ever since it came out. Like, I personally rank this song way down near the bottom end of Damn. And as I've said before, a big issue I have with it is the beat. Blunt piano keys in that sort of lower note region rarely do it for me, and this beat revolves around that type of piano. And on top of that, I don't really like how Kendrick's voice combines with it on here. I usually love his rapping, but the more nasally delivery combined with the repetitive piano loop, I just don't enjoy it that much. There's some catchiness to it for sure, memorable hook and all, but as a whole, I don't fully get the hype for this song. I think I've said it before, but I imagine I'd like this a little bit more as a Baby Keem song. It feels pretty fitting for his voice and his style. Coming from Kendrick, it's decent, but it doesn't quite click for me. Number 16, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with Thrift Shop.
Rolling in hella deep, headed to the mezzanine, dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes, those are green.
Macklemore over Kendrick Lamar, the Grammys. I feel like I'm setting myself up here. But listen, I've made my feelings for Humble abundantly clear ever since it dropped, and even as a massive Kendrick fan, I just don't love it. Conversely, Thrift Shop is a very fun Macklemore track. You can see how these two things would compare in a ranking if those are my thoughts on each one. Sure, the hook here is as 2012 as it could possibly be, but Wayans has a silky smooth voice and I can't find it within myself to hate on this. It's fun to hear a big rap hit based around thrifting and buying things secondhand. Macklemore has a lot of interesting lines about this, but I don't know, it kind of works and I think it gives the song some character. Also, is it not kind of insane that a song this accessible for younger audiences has an R. Kelly piss joke in there? That's low-key, very dark humor from Macklemore, knowing the context of that joke. Also, sampling Clay Davis from The Wire during the track, big W. Of course, I haven't mentioned it yet, but Ryan Lewis provided an infectious beat for this one as well. Some will find it annoying, but everything about this track is just relatively pure, innocent fun. R. Kelly sex crime jokes notwithstanding. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, we'd like to use this first interlude of this show here today to pay tribute to a special somebody who couldn't be here with us today. CDTV the G, you have been and will continue to be sorely missed. Many of you know him for his acts of bravery. For example, listening to Total's Anarchy and having to edit the video, therefore having to hear it again. That weird time where he made a bold fashion statement and wore a white cap to never wear one again. Or for the happy times, like when he reached 100,000 subscribers. He doesn't have them anymore because he died and stopped posting, but let's remember it as a happy moment. Now that we've said rest in peace to him and held a public remembrance ceremony, I hope that this is all the evidence that the police need to know that I didn't do it, and they can stop asking me questions. My twin hasn't disappeared, he's dead, and I did not do it. The G stands for goodbye, old friend. Until we meet again. Number 15, Jay-Z and Kanye West, Paris. Please do not ask me in the comments who was in Paris. I'd rather not speak. If I do speak, I will be in big trouble. I've always leaned a little bit more towards preferring Otis in terms of the Throne's hit songs, but Paris, as I will be referring to it from now on, is great in its own right as well. It's a provocative song that gets the people going, and the number of iconic moments on this song is kinda crazy. From that aforementioned sample to just about every single line that Kanye had on the song, to the start of Jay-Z's hook being used as a repeated phrase throughout the track. It's super memorable. Love the outro on this one too, where things get all fuzzy and white noisy while Kanye is getting in his zone. A beautiful musical moment. And at our number 14 spot, we have 21 Savage with A Lot featuring J. Cole.
How much money you got? A lot. How many problems you got? A lot. How many people done doubted you? A lot.
left you out the rap.
14 of 22 might not sound like a great ranking, but I think this song is amazing, and that only speaks to the quality of everything else that I have ranked above it. I know not everybody loves the Grammys, but man, they have some good picks for Rap Song of the Year. It's always nice to hear 21 Savage get a little bit more in his introspective bag. No Alchemist on the production sadly, but still a nice moment, and it just adds on to it a little bit knowing that this dropped right around that time where 21 Savage was rapidly improving as an artist. He hasn't improved much since that improvement, but it's nice that it happened at all. He flows super cleanly on this track, and his more laid-back delivery is balanced out pretty nicely by the strong impact of the drums and the beautiful sample. I love you for so many reasons. And then there's Cole's verse, which is notable till this day. It was during a great feature run of his where he was killing everything that he touched, and he calmly breezed over the instrumental while dexterously covering multiple topics within his single verse. A very good track that only speaks to the strength of the Grammy Rap Song Award winners. At number 13, we have Kanye West with Jesus Walks.
I walk through the valley of the shadow where death is. Top Lord, if you alone and leave you breathless.
I think I would perform a human sacrifice to bring this version of Kanye West back. Still confident, still having an indescribable level of self-belief, but making songs with more meaningful topics. Jesus is King. Bad example of how to make Christian music. Jesus Walks. Great example of how to make Christian music. Just because the music is about God and Jesus doesn't mean that it needs to be sonically bland, and this song gets that right. The beat is full of life, constantly marching forward with a well-utilized choir sample and auto-crooning backing vocals. Kanye is energetic and fired up, and while pretty much everything points to Rhymefest as being the one who mostly wrote this track, Kanye is a great vocal vessel for that writing. The second verse in particular really stands out, a lot of nice bars in there. As a non-religious person, it's still great music, and Kanye makes you feel like the message of the track is important, no matter what. Coming in at number 12, we have Kanye West with Good Life featuring T-Pain.
Like we always do with this time, I go for mine, I get to shine.
But fuck all that Jesus shit, I'm trying to live the good life and turn up, baby. If there is one Kanye song that absolutely captures the essence of life is beautiful, it's this one, man. It's been one of my go-to feel-good songs forever, just because of how well it encapsulates that sound of success and living the dream. The anthemic beat is masterful, and T-Pain was the perfect feature choice for it, with his sugary auto-tune fitting the upbeat electronic atmosphere wonderfully. Lyrically, it's relatively straightforward, but I think that works for the type of track that it is, and what makes this one so good for me is simply the sound. The combination of the complex, layered beat with T-Pain and Ye's vocals is stunning. The beat's got warm synths, well-timed bursts of strings, and a pitched-up vocal sample. It's probably a big part of the reason why I love these things in rap songs now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here at the CDTV Grammy Awards, we like to use the middle point of the show to put the spotlight on an upcoming artist. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our live performer today. I am Jace, who is here to perform his upcoming hit single, which he has told me is a tribute to the late CDTV the G, Grammy Freestyle. Take it away. Fuck CDTV the G. Fuck CDTV the G. I'm glad that bitch is dead. He's deep in the ground. I'ma get a Grammy and he'll never be found. Yeah, the G stands for Grammy. The G stands for Grammy. And that boy got aborted. No need for a plan B. His twin did not do it. This verse, I ran through it. I don't have many enemies, but that boy was never a friend of me. The G stands for good riddance. I could rap for a few minutes about how he deleted my songs and stole my hard drive with all my hits in it. And now they want to stop me. I could see security in the crowd, and they're moving closer with the full intentions to stop the show and take me down. So thank you and good night. I've gotta go and catch a flight. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the show. See you later. Gotta go. Fuck CDTV, the G. Fuck the security coming after me right now. You look stupid as fuck. You're never gonna catch me. Fuck this stupid ass award ceremony. Everybody who cried during the memorial portion of this show, you're stupid. Security's never gonna get me. I love you all. Good night. I campaigned for them to get him on here. I am definitely getting fired for that one. Hold on just a second. Okay, let's do this. Might as well finish the show and go out on a high point. And now, onto our number 11 spot, we have Kanye West once again with Jail featuring Jay-Z.
Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight?
It's me. I'm going to jail tonight after this disastrous shit show. Anyway, a lot of people generally don't seem to care all that much for the Donda era, and as a result, probably don't really care about this song all that much. But me personally, I love this track. I feel like the best way that I could word it is that Jail makes the most out of simplicity. Nothing about it sounds very complicated, but to me, that just amplifies the emotional resonance. As soon as this one starts and those guitars hit, I'm locked in and I'm feeling something. I also love the backing vocals that only jump into the track occasionally during Kanye's verse and throughout the chorus. Due to the minimalism of everything else, it really pops. Jay-Z's verse isn't anything crazy on this one. I can see why some critics said it sounds kind of like he just woke up and rapped some half thought out bars into a microphone kind of awkwardly. But for me, he manages to get by on aura here. If he was less charismatic, then yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been great, but I still like hearing him on here, and I do think a couple of the bars are very smooth. I like it a lot, even if it's not perfect. None of us are. All of us make mistakes. Every single one of us. And we can't be held accountable for all of them, even if the show you're presenting falls apart. At number 10, we have Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Kanye West with Run This Town.
For now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back.
Man, this one was a childhood banger for me. 2010 Kanye, Jay-Z, and Rihanna collaborating just felt massive, and so does the song itself. This one makes you feel like you're going into battle. If I was ever at a YouTuber boxing event, all 175 non-shredded pounds of me, this would be my walkout song. Provided that I don't need a license for it or anything like that. The whole atmosphere is immediately urgent and dramatic, and I just love the way it sounds. Also, another track that you can point to where pretty much every single Kanye line feels memorable and iconic, even if some of them don't necessarily feel like they fit the more serious tone of the track. He just makes it work. It's the best verse on the song. Rihanna's hook sets the tone incredibly. Jay-Z is pretty sharp on it as well. This one's super nostalgic for me, and I love it. Coming in up next at our number 9 spot is Kendrick Lamar with Not Like Us.
Mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down.
Hey, mustard on my meat, ho. This song made Grammy Rap Song Award history by being the first diss track to win the award. A crazy feat by itself, but on top of that, This song is just genuinely really good. For some, it might be overplayed or have ran its course by now, but I think that it's genuinely one of the most fun Kendrick Lamar songs to listen to. That mustard beat does not leave your head after the first time that you hear it, and Kendrick weaves in and out of it expertly. All the disses are pulled off very nicely, and whether or not you agree with the message or the overall idea of the last verse, it's extremely well constructed. The writing there is really solid, and I think a lot of people kind of misinterpret what Kendrick was saying with the whole Drake-Atlanta relationship. He never said at any point in the song that Atlanta artists don't want to work with Drake. That was never the point he was making. Now, as with every song in this ranking, personal experience factors into it a lot because it's my personal ranking. And this track was definitely enhanced by the fact that reacting to the Kendrick and Drake disses as they were dropping is one of my absolute favorite moments of my entire career on YouTube. Like, it was so fun, man. That was special. And this song was a huge part of that. Moving on to our next one at number 8, we have Kendrick Lamar once again with All Right.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Kendrick Lamar, All Right. Pharrell and Soundwave did an amazing job with the beat on here, and it took me an embarrassingly long time to find out that it was actually Pharrell doing the hook on this song as well. I don't know why, my brain just never registered that voice on the hook as Pharrell. Kendrick's rapping is insanely passionate on this song, which makes a lot of sense given the subject matter, and the second verse is a very important and pivotal one. On to Pimp a Butterfly, introducing the quite literally satanic character of Lucy with a nice callback to the intro song on the album, Wesley's Theory. It's a testament to the sheer craft of To Pimp a Butterfly that this song works extremely well taken as a single outside of the album, but within it, even more connections and layers are revealed, just making the whole thing even more impressive. Great stuff. And on to our next one, number 7, Killer Mike, with Scientists and Engineers featuring Future, Andre 3000, and Aaron Allen Kane.
Music computers and robbers and looters with shooters and shooters with brokers.
This is a crazy feature list, man. Putting Andre 3000 and Future together again on a track in 2023 is insane. And it's a beautiful rapping showcase from everyone. You could tell Killer Mike knew that the competition was heavy on this track because he absolutely murdered his verse with that non-stop flow. 3 Stacks was a highlight, like he is on basically everything that I've heard him featured on, and the unique way in which he connects his words and phrases things is kind of remarkable. Operator, operator, I would pray that you connect me to a sip of sangria, Zambia, camera, cameo, hand me a handful of hips, is such an interesting way to say, I want to drink and connect with people. Future fits the song extremely well, Aaron Allen Kane's vocals are breathtaking, and every turn that the instrumental takes just makes sense. I'm sure others might rank this lower, but this song is just absolutely mesmerizing to me. Up next, at number 6, is Kendrick Lamar with I.
And I love myself. The world is a ghetto, big guns and dick inside. I love myself.
More Kendrick, more Kendrick. Why yes, he does have songs other than A Minor and Mustard. Doesn't this song just make you feel great though? I is, put simply, a self-acceptance anthem, and it is fucking fantastic. While this isn't the version of the song that's on To Pimp a Butterfly, you could see how it would slot into the album really well with its mixing of deep personal exploration with social and political themes. It all culminates in an amazing final verse after the beat switches up, and it's just yet another piece of evidence that Kendrick Lamar is truly one of the best at relaying emotion and feelings through music. The beat is just so full of life with those Isley Brothers samples, and my god, do those guitars during the hook just make me smile no matter what, man. Music is a lovely thing. Also, I have a very specific memory of hearing this song when I was in a car with my friend when I was younger, and at the time, for whatever reason, I didn't like the song. I don't know what I was on, but when I expressed out loud that I didn't like it, my friend's brother, who picked the song to play, said to me, "Yeah, that's because you don't love yourself, fat ass." Never forgot that one. He's a lovely guy now, though. It just back then, he said that unprompted, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Moving into the top 5 now, at our number 5 spot, we have Jay-Z and Alicia Keys with Empire State of Mind. This is the definition of an anthem right here. Everything about it feels grand and big, like the state that it is representing, New York. And we've got to start by talking about that all-timer of a chorus by Alicia Keys. If you haven't listened to this song in a while, play it right now and the strength of her vocals will just sweep you away instantly. It combines so amazingly with the strong piano chords. Now, I've always thought Jay-Z has had a little bit of a strange delivery on this song where he sounds like deep-voiced nasally at the end of each line. I don't even know if I could replicate it, but it's like that, you know, rest in peace, Bob Marley.
3 dice CeeLo, 3 card Marley, Labor Day parade, rest in peace, Bob Marley.
I don't know if he always sounds like that on Blueprint 3, but once you start noticing it, you can't stop. It's not a bad thing though. He still has 3 great verses on this track that are perfect for what it is, with the third one probably being the most interesting, taking a slightly darker turn. Some people might say that it doesn't fit the song, but I don't know, I quite like it. It's just there to show like not everything is great here. Some people still get caught up in some stuff and the life just isn't for them in this city. And even if you're not from New York, I feel like listening to this song just makes you feel invincible for a moment. It perfectly represents the phrase, larger than life. I went to Buffalo, New York last year for a short trip, and as soon as I got to the hotel, this was the first song that I listened to, and it was a wonderful experience, man. Then I went out for dinner and found out that it was really true that America does not play about portion sizes. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Up next, number 4, Kendrick Lamar with The Heart Part 5.
New GoFundMe accounts to proceed, a brand new victim, a shatter those dreams, the culture.
This top 4 is so damn hard to rank, man. Each contender here is one of the best songs from each respective artist's discographies, but my ranking is where I'm standing on them right now. And this song, this is easily my favorite track from Kendrick's The Heart series. The passion and emotion that flows through every part of this song is just incredible. Every verse on the song is outstanding, but for me personally, my favorite is probably the second one. The first one sets everything up perfectly. The last one has that emotional gut punch of largely being from Nipsey Hussle's perspective, but I don't know, that second one just has some of my favorite bars, and I feel like the structure of it is fantastic. It's a song that is absolutely enhanced by watching the music video along with it, which adds some extra context to some of the bars, but it 100% works without it as well. It's yet another song that shows Kendrick's talent for delivering messages through hip-hop in heartfelt, detailed, and layered ways. I also somehow haven't mentioned the beat yet, but it's incredible. Beach Noise is not a name that I've heard a lot in hip-hop production, but they absolutely killed it on here. On to the big top 3 now. At our number 3 spot is Eminem with Lose Yourself.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous.
For me, this song ticks so many boxes and is one of the absolute greatest tracks from Eminem's entire career. It is the ultimate psyching yourself up song, perfectly encapsulating that go for broke energy. The punchy guitar sets the tone perfectly for 3 motivational verses based around drawing parallels between Eminem's own life and his story and the story of his character of B-Rabbit from 8 Mile. It's expertly written and makes for some of my favorite rap verses ever. It's really cool to see how it transitions from being more about this fictionalized character earlier on in the song to being more about Eminem in the last verse. I feel like it's pulled off really well to make those parts connect, and you can see the clear shift happening. I know it can be trendy to hate on Eminem, especially nowadays, but writing something like this that is super impressive technically, while also relaying this motivational story of persevering through struggle and making it sound so natural, takes a crazy amount of talent. It's one of his best storytelling tracks, and it is, like a lot of songs on here, an absolute anthem. And now, at our number 2 spot, we have Kanye West, Rihanna, Kid Cudi, and Fergie with All of the Lights. Now, if we're talking about anthemic tracks that feel larger than life, All of the Lights fits that bill extremely well. The drums on this track are absolutely insane. If there's one thing I've always loved about this song, it's just that relentless barrage of drums raining down on you. I genuinely think this is one of the greatest pieces of music that I have ever heard. Not just for the drums, but the combination of every single part of the beat. And the artists over it, of course. It's kind of amazing how everyone works together on here, and it took me forever to even notice that Drake, Alicia Keys, and Elton John all have small vocal contributions on here. Everything about this song just feels huge. Like Kanye got this big group of artists together and said, let's make one of the biggest songs of all time. Content-wise, it's pretty gripping too, especially with the simple but effective story that Kanye tells in his verses. The mirroring of the first verse with the second one really hits. It's so good, man. Every time I listen to this, it just feels special. But ladies and gentlemen, the only person that can top old Kanye's music here is old Kanye. And our number 1 spot and my personal winner for the best Grammy award-winning rap song so far, we have Kanye West with Diamonds from Sierra Leone.
A&R's looking like we messed up. Grammy night, damn right, we got dressed up.
What a stunning track. It took me a while to decide on this song being at the number 1 spot because it's not a song that I come back to all the time. But man, every single time that I do, I'm blown away by it. This song sounds like luxury. It sounds as pristine and glamorous as Diamonds look. And the use of the Shirley Bassey sample, just incredible. It also maybe has some of the best verses from Kanye on Late Registration, with verse 2 in particular just getting better and better with every bar. I feel like that chip Kanye had on his shoulder about not really being seen as a rapper earlier on in his career really worked in his favor, because you get the sense from the longer verses here that he was really putting in all the effort to impress. It's also one of those wonderful examples of a phenomenal track with an equally phenomenal remix. Both are top tier. It's just one of those songs that makes you feel lucky to exist at a time where you can experience it. The top 4 is honestly in such close contention here that some of the tracks could shift around a little bit, just depending on what I'm more in the mood for, but where I'm at right now, Diamonds from Sierra Leone is my favorite Grammy-winning rap song so far. So with that being said, thank you for attending, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully if they ever do this again for albums or something like that, hopefully they still bring me back. I am gonna kill that I Am Jace prick if I ever get my hands on him. With all that being said, thank you for watching, much love to Surfshark for helping to make this possible, and a special credit to all my channel members and Patreon supporters over there, with a special shout out to Henry Flores, I Am Regent, Lucas1123, and Neo Striker.